I hope there's not going to be a test on it. All right. I know we're running a bit late, so I'll try to get through this as quickly as I can. So let me reintroduce myself. I know most of you probably know me, but for those that don't, my name is Sam Ma. I'm the current executive director for EdCloud Marketplace Ministries, and I was given the privilege to come into this role in December of last year. And there was a lot of prayer that went into this before I accepted this role. And ultimately, I did this because about 15 or 18 years ago, I realized what my calling in ministry was. And it all started actually at Intel. And in fact, was Sister Vicky there that introduced me to the Bible study group at Intel. And before then, I didn't know, you could do Bible studies at work. It wasn't a thing, right? And when I joined, it just opened my eyes. And since then, as I tell people, my serving in the marketplace has been the place where I have experienced God the most. So this is where I'm clear in my calling from the Lord, and also I can see the fruits of that ministry. And as a result, I'm not only serving in EdCloud, but also earlier I got an award for the Intel Bible-based Christian Network. And it's basically a Christian employee group at Intel, and we actually have 4,000 members across the globe. And this is a company-approved and sanctioned group, and praise the Lord. And finally, thanks to Pastor Agnes, who received an award for our Tree of Life. I'm part of the Tree of Life Church, and I really appreciate our pastoral team giving me the freedom to spend my time here to serve. So those are the three places where I'm serving. And so today I would like to share a little bit about what is the next for EdCloud and what I call EdCloud 2.0. So why serve in the marketplace, right? So from my point of view, the very simple thing is this is for professionals. This is where we spend most of our waking hours, right, at work, right? And also to share the gospel, what better place than the marketplace, because we actually spend time day in and day out with our coworkers, right? Sure, we can go on to short mission trips to overseas, but we could spend maybe a week, 2 weeks there, right? But as all of you know, to really effectively share the gospel, you need to spend time. You need to walk with them, right? And God put us in the marketplace where we spend most of our waking hours. Of course, that's where we should share the gospel at. And of course, you could say, well, is that biblical? Well, it is. What did Jesus do? Where did Jesus spend most of his time, right? 122 out of the 132 public appearances in the New Testament for Jesus was in the marketplace. 45 out of 52 parables that was recorded is related to the marketplace. 39 out of 40 divine interventions is also in the marketplace. We as Christians, we're supposed to follow what Jesus does, right? And that's where Jesus spends most of his time. And in fact, Billy Graham said he believes one of the next great moves of God is going to happen through us, the believers, the professionals, in the marketplace. So this is why I'm so, firmly called to serve in this area. Next slide, please. And so as I took over as the executive director in last December, I really reflected and I prayerfully seek the Lord, what is next? And what I always do as I, teach the mentees in the leadership circle, number one is ask why. And then the next one is always go back to your vision, right? So one of the first things I did was I went back to the vision that Pastor Wu casted, 10 plus years ago. And EdCloud's ultimate vision is to be able to plant marketplace churches inside companies. That's ultimately our vision. And EMBA program, everything that we've been doing is the means, the path to get to that ultimate vision. And when I look at our mission statement, I would say in the past 10 years, what I call AdCloud 1.0, we've been focusing on the first bullet, right? We're calling and we're equipping brothers and sisters, right, to excel in, wherever corporate work, in their entrepreneurship, in their companies, as leaders, right? As we're called into ministry, we have been equipping our brothers and sisters, and that was great, right? We equipped more than 400 mentees in the last 10 years. But I did realize that we haven't had a laser focus and explicit effort in helping our brother and sister to actually establish marketplace fellowships in their companies. I know in some of the circles we have been doing it sporadically, right? But going forward, we would like to have a more focused effort to really help our brothers and sisters to do that, and ultimately, bring more professionals, our coworkers, to the Lord. Next slide, please. So from my observation, there are a couple of opportunities and needs over the years. The first one is what I said. I do see that there are brothers and sisters that are called to start these marketplace fellowships, but they lack the training or they lack the ongoing support because they try and maybe they run into obstacles and they get stuck, right? They need people to walk along with them. The second one is we also have mentees from our EMB program in the past that are passionate, that are called to mentor others. Our mentees want to be able to mentor others, right? And this has always been one of the things we want to do is, 传承, right, to pass it on, right? It's not the same group of mentors keep on mentoring and a revolving door of mentees, right? We want our mentees to be able to mentor others, disciple others, right? But unfortunately, some of them do not have the platform to mentor others. And thirdly is, I think everybody these days agree that we need to raise up the next generation, the young professionals, right? To be rooted in the faith and also to grow their careers and to have influence and impact in the marketplace. However, at least in the past 10 years, we found it difficult and we lack channels and pipelines to reach that particular demographics, right? So in light of these three, that's where we came into the AdCloud 2.0 vision. So we start with AdCloud EMBA program in the middle. That one we know, right? That one is what we've been doing for years. And this is what I call the master's program, right? This is a mature program. We're going to keep on doing it. And from there, we want to scale up and scale down. Scale up is what I call the AdCloud MCIP program, the Marketplace Church Incubation Program. And this is for those that have already gone through EMBA, that are clearly called to start fellowships in their companies, but they don't know how to start, or they need people to walk along with them, right? And in this MCIP program, we're not only able to help them to get started, to start a Bible study or a fellowship, but we actually have brothers and sisters that are experienced to actually help them to take it to the next level. Remember I mentioned about Christian employee groups, like official groups recognized by companies, right? It takes a different set of skills and knowledge. How do you approach HR? How do you approach legal, right? What do you say to them to have your company approve this group? You may ask, so why would I care, right? I have my little fellowship Bible study. Why do I need a recognized group? Because when you are a recognized group, you can influence so much more, right? You are a recognized group within the company, and you could do company-wide events, and you even have a seat at the table for company policies or even products. So that will give you even more influence and impact for God and the kingdom. So we have a selection of faculty members, which I've already called together. Some of our mentors, some of our past mentees, and we are all committed to this program, which we're going to launch in the beginning of next year. So if those of you that are interested in this program, please come find me afterwards. So initially, this program will be by invitation only. And then, because we don't want to open it up to too many people, and depending on how many people we get, and then we may open up to others down the road. So this is the MCIP program, and then scaling down, right? Remember we said we want to reach out to the next generation, the young people, right? So in this area, we are looking into strategic partnerships with other ministries, right? That we can work together to reach out to this group of young people, and this is what I call the bachelor's program, right? So we start. Next slide, please. So this is how everything are interrelated, right? The synergies between the different programs. So ideally, we start with the AdCloud Next Gen, right? These are new college grads, young professionals, and we build relationship with them. We start equipping them so that when they actually enter into the marketplace, we funnel them into the EMBA program, right? Our current core program offering. And then as people progress through EMBA and they're called to, again, start the marketplace churches, they go into the MCIP program. And another, and then basically as brothers and sisters go into their place of work and start these fellowships, they can introduce the additional Christians or even their non-Christian coworkers into our EMBA program, right, as an additional pipeline for people to be equipped. And then lastly, the green arrows there is, remember I mentioned about, there are our past mentees that are passionate about mentoring others, but lack of a platform, right? So we can have some of our past mentees, maybe they can start with internship in the MBA program, or they can be mentors for the next gen program. And as they equip themselves and as they are more mature, then we can eventually build a pipeline for future EMBA mentors as well, right? So this is a system where everything is interlinked together and they will feed and support each other. Okay, all right. With that, I think there's one more slide. Yes. Okay. And so if this future vision and these strategies resonate with you, we actually have a lot of opportunities where you can get involved and serve, right? So I won't go into every single one of them. You can see them on the screen. So if any one of them is your area of expertise, and again, right, you feel called to the vision of this ministry, please find me, find Kuowei, any of our coworkers, and we would love to chat with you. All right, thank you. Oh, and now we'll introduce Kuowei to go over our financial